Hello. I just wanted to clear up some misconceptions on what it truly means to hand your life over. Many are misinformed and misunderstand exactly what Yeshua was saying and who he was and what salvation is. Salvation is not being brutally murdered on a cross. Salvation is not being whipped, buried in the sand, shipwrecked. That's not your salvation. Your salvation is when you come to remember who you truly are. Your salvation is when you're granted full remembrance of who you are, and the Spirit of Christ that's in you, and the Spirit of truth. And you're granted this. Father grants this to you. And once you understand, and once you recognize this within yourself, then you start to walk in Father's will. You know your eternity, you know your eternal address. This isn't it. You know this. You're not here to build communities, to do this, to do that, to do this. They're all just secondaries. The first and foremost thing you're here to do is to share the message of what it truly means to be in Christ and to know your Father. That's your salvation, and that's the point where you hand over your life to everyone and everything. So it's other people's limitations on you when you stand in this place. It's their limitations and misunderstandings because they don't recognize themselves and don't have their salvation. They project this onto you because they're confused about who Yeshua was, who Christ in them is. They project this onto you and just truly don't understand it within themselves. That's why Yeshua, bit by bit, gave the truth in his parables. It's a whole loaf of bread, but people could only handle their limitations and their perception, their understanding. They could only stomach so much because it was hard. And here's why. In Matthew 8:18, it says, "Now when Yeshua saw a crowd around him, he gave orders to go over to the other side. And a scribe came up to him and said to him, 'Teacher, I will follow you wherever you go.' And Yeshua said to him, 'Foxes have holes, and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head.'" That's a warning, a small portion size warning that holds the whole loaf of bread. The whole truth is in that. It's in one parable, just many different ways. So it holds the whole truth. It's just whether you can fully grasp and come to the understanding of who you truly are. If you remember, then you will understand that this is you. That was a pretty heavy warning. And it goes on to say, another of the disciples said to him, "Lord, let me first go and bury my father." And Yeshua said to him, Jesus said to him, "Follow me and leave the dead to bury their own dead." So, look, I'm not quite understanding you, Yeshua, right now. You know who you are. I can see some sort of glory coming off you. I just want to follow you. But I'm not quite understanding you right now completely. I just want to tie off some loose ends. Let me tie off some loose ends before I walk or follow you, because I really don't understand what it means to follow you. And this is a major thing, because that warning was this scribe needed to recognize that that to follow me, this is what it means, because I know who I am. You all can follow me. I'm definitely not going to mislead you. But if you do follow me, and you follow me with confusion and misunderstanding, misconceptions and all of these different things, then that's your shit. But I am a messenger because I was granted my full remembrance, full truth, the Christ that's in me. And now I walk in this message, in the word. And my eternal address determines everything for me. Why would I need to be put up and murdered on a cross? No, that was them murdering me because they didn't have mercy and they didn't have understanding and complete remembrance. They had no idea who they're worshipping and who they're working for. So that's how they treat you. Error chases the truth. Everything in this will chase you this way when you start to actually walk in this way. And that's not for the faint-hearted. These scriptures that Yeshua is speaking of and walked in the way of course, many are like, let me tie up some loose ends. Maybe tomorrow I'll start following the way. Yeah, tomorrow I'll get myself all ready for it. The time is now. The time is absolutely always in the present moment now, where there is no time. You just be this. There is no time to go back and go to funerals, to build communities or think outside of anything right now than to who you truly are. The time is now for you. So this is very important because a lot of people, this is where everybody gets, they just want to look at it a different way. It's like, that's too harsh. That's too hard, Damien. No one can follow that and do that. That's too hard. I did that myself. I'm like, Yeshua, that's fucking hard, man. That's really, really hard. I do have loose ends. I have loose ends. And then as I walked in this way and started to just snip and cut those loose ends off, because the truth is, this is your eternal address. And this is your salvation. And your salvation is not being up on a cross being murdered. That may happen from their misunderstanding. And again, stand firm. No matter what, stand firm. Don't deny Christ. And at any point when these things start occurring to you, they occur to you on a small basis around you, friends, family, all of this. There's way more in his scriptures. But the portions that people get is just what they can receive until they come to this understanding. And you will come to that understanding. It's absolute. It's promised. And, you seek and you will find. But this is really important, because a lot of people are very confused on what it truly is, what salvation is. And, I can't save you. He can't save you. They can't save me. The Spirit of Christ that's in you, that if you come to understand and know truly who you are, and this Spirit that's in you, there is your salvation. Now go, make disciples, go walk in this way. And everybody that comes to you, tell them, I have no place to lay all of the parables, they mean the same thing. This is who I am. This ain't real. My eternal address is not here. So you will come to understand these things. And I feel like just as we go more through Matthew, and I was going to do John today, but this is this came up, so I thought I'd just talk about it.